In this video, we will be taking a look at the top 10 upcoming Western RPGs. Now, as the title suggests, this video will only be covering Western RPGs, so Japanese RPGs such as Final Fantasy XV and Persona 5 will not be present on this list. With that being said, let's get right into this with number 10. Number 10, The Technomancer. The Technomancer is an upcoming science fiction action RPG. The game takes place in Mars during the War of Water, 200 years after humans colonized Mars. You play as a Technomancer on the run from the secret police. You'll be able to make different choices in how to solve the various quests, and there will be 5 different endings in total. The Technomancer is an RPG that has gone really underlooked. It releases sometime this year on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Number 9, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. South Park: The Stick of Truth was one of the most surprising games in terms of how good it was. Few were expecting an RPG based on South Park to be great, but that's exactly what it was. The game captured everything great about South Park, from the humor, the art. If you were a fan of South Park, it would be right up your alley. But not only that, it was a very competent turn-based RPG with good mechanics. Now we have the sequel, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. We still don't know a lot about the game, but if it follows up on what the original did, I expect it to be pretty good. South Park: The Fractured But Whole releases sometime this year on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Number 8, Kingdom Come: Deliverance. Kingdom Come: Deliverance is an open-world historical RPG taking place in the 15th century medieval kingdom of Bohemia. The game has a focus on historically accurate and realistic content. Expect the game to be visually pleasing as well, as it's running on the CryEngine. The gameplay we've seen thus far, while unpolished, does look very promising. Kingdom Come: Deliverance will also offer multiple styles of play and various ways to develop your character. The game arrives on PC, PS4, and Xbox One sometime later this year. Number 7, The Banner Saga 2. The original Banner Saga was an amazing turn-based RPG with a gorgeous aesthetics and a terrific soundtrack. The game was challenging but extremely rewarding, not to mention the game had an engaging story as well. Now we have the sequel, The Banner Saga 2. The game still retains the amazing art style and the tactical gameplay. If you haven't played Banner Saga yet, go play the original and come back and play the sequel. It releases on April 19th on PC and sometime later this year on PS4 and Xbox One. Number 6, Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 is an upcoming RPG being created by famed game developers CD Projekt Red. If you don't know who they are, those are the guys that made the exceptional Witcher games. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that was announced so long ago, but it has still been kept in mystery. We know the game is set in a dystopian futuristic world. The game is expected to be very mature, and given who the developers are, expect Cyberpunk 2077 to be an extremely ambitious game. Even though we haven't learned much, CD Projekt Red has been adamant that the development of the game is progressing. We still don't know when we'll get Cyberpunk 2077, but anything earlier than a late 2017 release date would be very surprising. Number 5, Divinity: Original Sin 2. Games that are kickstarted always lead to a bit of skepticism, but Divinity: Original Sin was one of those games that did crowdfunding absolute justice. The game was a classic style RPG, it was difficult and didn't really hold your hand that much. If you can't be patient with the game, Divinity: Original Sin probably wasn't the game for you. However, if you stick with the game, it's an absolutely engrossing experience from its amazing world, great gameplay, and well-written story. Divinity: Original Sin 2 was also help-funded via Kickstarter, and it smashed its $500,000 goal in less than 12 hours. The game is scheduled to release in December of this year on PC, and it is possible we'll see a console version down the road as well.
Their only ambition. Divinity: Original Sin's combat system was one of the highlights of the game, and development in Divinity: Original Sin 2 will be focused on maintaining the same feel while expanding on the things that you can do and the challenges you'll be encountering. We're going to try to bring you more skills, talents, abilities, as
Number 4, Mount & Blade 2: Bannerlord. Mount & Blade has been one of the premier PC exclusives, and now we finally get a brand new entry, the first in the last 6 years. Mount & Blade 2 is seeing a lot of much needed improvements over Warband. The game's visuals have seen a massive jump up with better shading and higher detail. The character animations have been done using motion capture and are expected to be much more realistic. The game this time around will also feature a massive open world and a lot of variety in its content. If you're a fan of past Mount & Blade games, Bannerlord is definitely one to keep an eye on. It releases this year exclusively on PC. Number 3, Mass Effect: Andromeda. BioWare has a track record for creating some of the best RPGs. From Baldur's Gate to Dragon Age to Star Wars: The Old Republic, they've developed some fantastic games. But arguably, no game of theirs has resonated more than Mass Effect. Outside of Mass Effect 3's ending, the trilogy is heralded as some of the best games in the last decade. And now we're finally seeing a new game in Mass Effect: Andromeda. We still don't know a ton about the game outside of it taking long after the events of Mass Effect 3, and that it obviously takes place in the Andromeda galaxy. The game will also be running on the Frostbite 3 engine. Unfortunately, we won't be getting our hands on Andromeda until 2017 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is one of the most unique games you're gonna see all year. It's a post-apocalyptic open-world action RPG featuring mech-like dinosaurs. Yeah, if nothing else, you have to give developers Guerrilla Games credit for originality. You play as Aloy, a girl who is a hunter and an archer. She can loot these robotic creatures for various tools that help her progress in the world. The game is also one of the most technically impressive games you'll ever see on a console, and that's to be expected considering how visually pleasing Guerrilla's Killzone games were. Horizon Zero Dawn will have a dynamic day and night cycle, a weather system, and the game will have no loading screens. The game is one of the most interesting upcoming Western RPGs. We still don't have an exact release date, however, it is confirmed to come in 2016 exclusively for the PlayStation 4.
Here we go! Oh, someone's angry! Gotta get under it. Got it!
Number 1, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is the latest in the fan-favorite Cyberpunk series. The game is a direct sequel to the 2011 title Deus Ex Human Revolution. Set 2 years after Human Revolution, in Mankind Divided you will once again play as Adam Jensen, this time around with new technology and new body augmentations. The story revolves around a shadowy Illuminati. Jensen secretly works with a hacker group to eventually confront and find out the truth behind this shady group. The game obviously sees a massive visual upgrade being on next-generation platforms, and once again the gameplay will allow the player to tackle situations in a variety of ways, either using combat, hacking, stealth, etc. Mankind Divided can be completed without killing a single character. The game releases on August 23rd on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Now that we've fully engaged combat, we will show some of Adam's augmentations, such as the focus mode.
So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 upcoming Western RPGs. What do you think? Do you agree with our list? Disagree? Do you think there's a game we missed? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.